Welcome back to MGD 111. We're going to look at some advanced selection tools. Today I have the photo called Red Cup JPEG opened. You'll find that in your folder. And I went ahead and made a selection of just the cup here using various tools, the magic wand, etc., lasso. So if you want to play along at home, open this image, go ahead and make a similar selection. You might want to pause the video because I'm going to keep talking. Okay, good, we're back. So what we want to do is we want to do a function called refining the edge. It's under the selection or the select menu up here. See where it says refine edge. Now this was grayed out, as were several of these other options that are only options when something is selected. So let's go to refine edge and click on it, and you'll notice we get this the background became white. What happened here? Well, everything that is selected is showing here now. And everything that's not selected is blacked out. Now you can see we kind of have a little bit of haze around here that we probably don't want, and there's also some rough edges here. So we have a chance here to smooth this out a bit. One of the options here, speaking of smoothing, is the smooth option. Notice what happens when I move this. Let me move it way up to the top here so you can really see it. You'll notice it kind of blurs the edges a little bit. Now that's a really nice function. On certain objects this works great, and some it doesn't, but I find it to be a very effective object. I usually don't go up to 100 on it, but you can see that it also picks up a little bit, like watch this area right here as I move this. It sometimes picks up a little bit of debris from outside the range there, but it's actually a very effective tool. I'm going to set this back to 0 so we can see what the other tools do independently. We also have feather, which adds a little bit of a haze around the picture and picks up some of the background, so it sort of gives us this halo glow. Sometimes that's kind of a neat effect. It's not really something that cleans up the selection other than just giving it an effect here, but it makes sure that the entire cup is in there. So use that one at your discretion. We also have one called contrast, which if you zoom in on it, you can see what it does is it makes very stair-steppy, contrasty edges. I very seldom use that particular option because it usually makes my selection look slightly worse. And finally, there's the shift edge. Watch what this does. It starts out at 0 in the middle of the scale here. All these others start at 0 and go up. If I go plus, you'll see it actually picks up some image around the picture. If I go to minus, it actually cuts off part of my selection. So it's moving the picture in or out by a certain percentage. It's not moving it out by a number of pixels, it's moving it out by a certain percentage. Usually I use a combination of the smooth tool. I might smooth it by, you notice if you zoom in right here, can you see that little stray area here that I sort of messed up the selection on? If I move the smoothing up to, say, about 42, I get rid of that. And if I shift the edge inward just a bit, it helps me get rid of some of that stuff at the top. So a combination of these functions will give us a pretty clean outline. So I can click OK here, and it may not be readily visible when it goes back to it, but you can see it sort of moved the selection in and softened the edge. It's a great way to take something that has organically rounded edges. If you used your lasso tool, your polygon lasso, and made straight lines to select it, it helps round out those edges. And that's a pretty cool function. So it makes your selection look just a little bit neater, a little more natural. So let's keep that selection for now, and we're going to pause and we'll come back to that in a minute.